All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Welcome to another edition of What's Your Problem, the podcast. I'm your host, Marsh Bice, and today we're going to be talking about failing and the differences between failing and failure and why failing is such a key component of success. One thing that you have to remember is failure is an identity. Failing is a process. Always keep it a process. Failing is the key to growth and success. How will you ever grow if you don't step outside your self-imposed limitation? If you don't step outside your comfort zone, if you don't step outside the normal day-to-day. In sales, we say ABC, right? Always be closing. I say it when it comes to life, ABC, always be climbing. But when it comes to growth and success, ABF, always be failing. And when I say failing, I don't mean gloriously, I mean incrementally. See, the reason why people fail gloriously is because they've lost so much momentum and they've lost so much ground that all of a sudden they wake up one day and they swing for the fences, trying to get it back all in one fail swoop. And this is how they burn up. Your job is to burn on. Backing up a minute, when people fail gloriously, I think about salespeople who they laughed and clowned for 20 days of the month, and now there's only 7 days left, and they try to knock customers' heads off, and they make the situation worse. And then what do? They get to the end of the month, or they have a couple of months like that, and they say, man, F this place. These people are stupid. The customers are stupid. I'm out of here. And they go find something easy. And then that doesn't work, so then they go find something easier. And they shrink and shrink and shrink, and before you know it, you were once making $100,000 a year, 150, 200 grand a year in sales, and now today you're working at Home Depot talking about, bro, this is great, man. I have no stress. Your job is to stay in the game and grow and evolve as the game progresses. Now, here's what's deceiving. Sometimes it looks like the game is regressing. The economy shifts, customers' tendencies shift, you get blindsided in life, that shifts, life takes a shift on you. It will. And what looks like it's regressing, because you've made failing a part of your daily effort, micro now, incremental failing, because you've made that a fabric of your day-to-day activities, then what you're going to do is you're able to, this is just a way of life. So you expect that. So when it regresses, and your job every single day is, what are ways that I can reach out there a little bit further than in my comfort zone? That I can reach outside beyond my mental comfort zone. The things that, it's not going to work. And I push myself and I do those things. What's going to happen is when things regress, where everybody else tries to protect themselves and not lose, you can continue to play to win. This is how you make up ground. This is how you steal market share. You got to think about it like this. If I'm failing more than you, I'm winning. And so I got to just stay in the game and not go out with all chips in. I just incrementally put myself in position day in and day out. Think of your life as a business. There's two businesses that start off. One business starts off slow and simple. The other business that's a competitor starts off with VC money, and they go for it all. They say, we're going to put the slow and simple out of business. Look how simple they are. Look at what they don't offer. And so they go out there, and they spend massive amount of money trying to get market share, and they get the market share. But their burn rate exceeds their revenue. So they burn all this investor money, all this capital. They buy the best technologies, the best properties, the best marketing. They do all of that. And they're getting it, but they're spending more than they're receiving. And they burn out, and they have to file for bankruptcy. They can't sustain. So that simple, slow business, let the big business run after it, And once they burned out, they're able to buy their competitor for fractions on the dollar. And they're able to get the market share, and they're able to get all the technology and some of the best people for fractions of what they would have normally spent. It's because one went for it all. The other one did not. It's the tortoise and the hare. That's how it's got to be for you. So you got to find ways to micro fail today. James Clear put it best in his book, Atomic Habits. If you focus on incrementally improving, and the improving part means that you got to step outside your comfort zone. It means you got to do things a little bit different, and you got to do things consistent, and you keep stretching. That 1% is 37% at the end of the year versus if you don't fail, you protect yourself, well, you're not getting any better. And that will eventually go to zero. Failing's got such a bad rap because you tend to think of failing as an end result, and instead of looking at it as an opportunity. And so when you can look through the lens of failing as an opportunity, because it's an investment, you're able to amass new skills, experience, connections, habits, know-how. See, these things compound and they feed upon themselves. And when you do this every single day and you take your eyes off of the end result and I just focus on the effort and what I'm getting back in return that's intangible, I trust myself that this is going to pay off. I don't know when, until is my time frame, right? So, but I know that eventually things will break open and ultimately I will succeed because I look at it not from the lens of a result, but from the system that I follow and all of these benefits that I get. See, if you're not stretching out there, if you're not putting anything in the kitty, well, zero compounded is still zero. This is why you have to focus on daily micro-failing. And because you're not focused on the result, and you're focused more so on the investment, the skills, the collaborations, the reps, this is what's going to put you in position to succeed. You're incrementally learning. You're increasing your confidence along the way too, because you give yourself a shot, because you say, you know what? You're worth too much to stay the way that you are. We got to grow. We got places to go. Let's go. And you trust yourself enough that says, look, even if this doesn't work out, I'm going to analyze, I'm going to adjust, I'm going to make those things, and then, damn it, I'm going to do it again. That confidence is what shapes your self-belief. You believe more because you have more confidence to be able to do so. This never ends. And what's very liberating, let me tell you what's if you've heard nothing, listen to this. What is so freeing is that you don't have to negotiate with yourself. Is this going to pay off? Is this going to work? Is this worth my time? You don't have to worry about any of that. You just say it's an investment. These micro failings is an investment. Skills, know-how, connections, experience, all these reps. And I put it in there because you don't have to worry about if anything's wasted, because let me put your mind at ease. Nothing is for nothing. Nothing is wasted because you step outside your comfort zone, because you're willing to focus on these micro failings. Nothing is wasted. It's stored. So even if you don't get the result right now, it's storing up. And so this investment in your connections, your skills, your know-how, all of these things, they're storing up. And what happens is because you do this every day, it keeps storing up and gets bigger and bigger and bigger because it's compounding. So what is at first 5 to 1, 5 times the effort to get 1 time the result, it flips around to 1 to 10. And so you do one thing and get 10 times the compound interest, because that kitty is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You're not seeing the results yet, but see, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And what's going to happen is you're going to hit that tipping point. It's going to open up, and it's going to cascade in success. This is how you grow. The key to growth is down the path of failing. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for sharing this show. Share it with one person who needs it today. Keep it simple, keep it moving, never settle, stay tough. Peace.